Wow, I just like moved my arms a little bit and realized how much I stink.
Thank goodness I have a horrible sense of smell.
I went all out today. I did 3.5 miles on the treadmill and then 2 miles on elliptical, which may not sound that much if you're, an athlete, but I'm not.
No, it's good. Ooh.
These things are fun. You can use I like to use the tilt for those. That's the one thing I like motion controls. I think looking with the controller feels more intuitive.
Oh, I didn't like that.
Oh, I'm one of those guys that likes aiming with the motion controls in Zelda for, like, the Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, like the hook shot and the...
oh, sure.
I think that feels more intuitive to me. I like these zipper things. I don't really understand what it has to do with a lake, but it's fun.
Well, because they're the ones who, like, crafted the dress, and so, like, if you read the book...
The book?
Yeah, like, if you read the map thing.
Oh.
It says, like, how they're seamstresses and they're known for...
Nah, I should
garments.
be more... But it's Mario, and I don't have to if I don't wanna.
Well, that's great, Travis. You'll never get anything done that way, but okay.
So, Thanksgiving is coming up. I love Thanksgiving. It's one of my favorite holidays.
Thanksgiving is fun. It's exciting. It's,
you
eat lots of food.
These. What's your favorite Thanksgiving food?
Probably dressing. I love dressing.
Dressing?
Like stuffing.
Oh. Okay, because what, is it called dressing? Do people call it that?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. It doesn't really dress the turkey, it stuffs it, so it's kind of a stupid title.
I don't know. Some people call it dressing, some call it stuffing.
I can't... There. I like the corn pudding.
Ooh.
I like the potatoes.
I never have corn pudding for Thanksgiving.
Oh, you should. Corn pudding's the best. Coleslaw. I basically like everything. I can't think of anything.
I don't really like coleslaw.
You're kind of, I don't want to say picky, but you do have a bit of a...
I don't like what you like?
No, you are picky. You just like less things than me.
Like what?
There's a lot of things you don't like.
Like what?
Like pickles.
Yeah, I don't like pickles.
I know, so you're kind of picky.
That's not picky.
Well, there's a lot of things you don't like, how is that not picky?
It's not picky because it's like one thing.
I can't think of any things I don't like.
I don't know, I just don't like that. I don't know why. I think it's the pickling juice. Well, I don't like cucumbers to begin with.
I miss Chicago because it was just like after that film set, it was like, hey, we're gonna get drunk. We went to the liquor store and this guy just bought a bunch of pickles. He's like, what? You guys don't eat pickles when you drink? And I'm like, I like the way you think. Because like it just makes.
Like you think you're better than me?
No, it just makes.
You don't eat pickle.
It just makes sense. You get a bunch of liquor and you get some pickles. Because like, what else would you want when you're drunk?
I mean, that's one way to look at it. I always want bar popcorn.
No.
Katie and I are the same. Bar popcorn and pretzels are my go-to.
Pretzels, I don't dislike them, but I just feel like they're the most inferior snack.
I love pretzels.
Like, because they're just like salt.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
There's not a lot of flavor to it. Fast food and pizza are the number one drunk things.
Well, fast food is my sober thing, so...
Thanksgiving is also good because we have Black Friday, which I know a lot of people hate, but I love Black Friday.
And I'm going out on Black Friday this time around. So
yeah, do you want to go out the Thursday night or the Black Friday? Because I'm going to do both.
Probably Black Friday. Because probably Thursday night I'm going to be up at my grandma's.
Because there's some places that do it Thursday night. There's some that... I wish they all... I miss what the... Oh, you didn't want that, Adam.
No.
What they used to do was it'd be like midnight or 3 a.m. on that Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kept getting earlier and earlier. And now it's on Thursday. And a lot more people go out then. When it was like 3 a.m., then a lot of people stayed in, so it wasn't as competitious.
Mm-hmm.
But Friday's good because you can go to like places like Best Buy and GameStop. If they have anything, which they probably won't.
I don't know what that was.
I hate GameStop.
Oh, yeah.
But sometimes they have good things. I remember one time they had the Metroid Prime trilogy or something for sale, and it's a good...
Ooh, we gotta go hang out with Dory.
Dory is my favorite Mario
Dory
NPC.
is not spelled... This was the Dory before Dory was Dory.
Yes. Yeah. I do like the Mario 64 design for Dory, but I still like... I like that one better, but I still like this one.
Yeah.
Let's not...
The Dory back rider.
I do not like the Dory in Super Mario 3D World, where it's orange, because Because Dory's not orange, Dory's blue.
Okay.
Are you taking notes, Shiguru? Shiggy? Are you taking notes?
Shiggy, too biggy to be stressing and thinking. I thought of you more than I like your presents. That Shiggy.
Yeah. Yeah. Before you know it, it's gonna be Christmas. Feels like now that we're out of school, it goes by way faster.
Well, yeah, and like teaching school goes by way faster than being in school.
I mean, you still have stuff to do like outside of it, but just like the less home, like what makes the school year slow is like homeworks and papers and stuff like that.
I miss that.
I'm
the only person in the world who misses writing papers.
I like writing papers when it's something I'm really passionate about, but a lot of the time, let's be honest, you're writing papers about things you could care less about.
So for me, I was lucky because most of the time I got to write about things I do like.
When I had history class and it's like, write a 10-page paper on Bush-era drone strikes. It's
well,
like,
that's why you take A-Push.
well, I'm talking about college.
Yeah, I didn't have to take a history class in college.
Oh,
I took A-Push.
I had to take 2 history classes.
I actually like history anyways, so...
I like it, I just don't have that much to say about Bush-era drone strikes.
I don't know, I think it's interesting.
Not for 10 pages, maybe for like 3 paragraphs.
Yeah. I don't know, I think I just like writing in general and like communicating on paper, so...
I do too, but I'm not as good as you. I like if it's something I'm like really like. Like when it's about like entertainment things or storytelling.
Or The Simpsons.
Yeah, I wrote a really good paper on The Simpsons. I wrote one about my law. I wrote my law final about that one guy who was trying to sue The Simpsons for using. It wasn't Fat Tony, but it was.
You've never been here before?
It was one of the other gangster characters. It was like a parody who's trying to sue The Simpsons for satire. Because satire law is really interesting to talk about.
Well, it's a very gray area, that's for sure.
And fair use. Well, it's kind of gray area because of the lack of precedent, but in terms of, like, what's written and what it should be, it's fairly obvious. It's just like, it's... Whenever anybody takes it to court, it doesn't go anywhere. So there's no real precedent to be like...
And I'm guessing the Supreme Court, if it ever gets that, just, like, throws them out.
It's really big for, like, YouTuber stuff now over what's fair use regarding, like...
We got... Our top songs video got flagged.
Well, I honestly think that just using music in the background like that is not fair use, because it's not really transformative, so I don't feel bad about that, you know?
Yeah.
But whereas the big thing from this year was
All right, I
the
need the hat.
H3 guys had to go to court because they did like a video reaction. It wasn't, I don't know, reaction's such a loose term too, but they did it where it's like they did commentary and made fun of it and did little skits about another video a guy made, and he took them to court to sue them, and they ended up winning.
Yeah.
So that set a huge precedent, but it still sucks because, you know, they had to pay court fees and everything. But it sets a huge precedent in terms of what's okay in, like, using other people's material in the context of YouTube. But I think if it's not transformative, like, you know, if it's a video gaming video and you're just using the music in the background, then no, that doesn't count as fair use.
Yeah.
Because, like, if I use... Okay, if we're doing a video about the Snake Eater theme, and we're talking specifically about that, yeah, that's fair use. Okay. If we're talking about a bunch of other stuff and I just put a random Kirby song in the background, which I do all the time, that's not fair use.
Okay.
So, in terms of, like, if you're analyzing or satirizing or reviewing that specific thing, then yeah. But yeah, if I'm reviewing, like, Star Wars, and I just use Lord of the Rings music in the background to make it sound better, well, okay, Lord of the Rings has the right to say, hey, take this down, or we're going to monetize. We don't monetize our content anyway, so it's not something that I think is an issue. I think what is too bare bones is when Nintendo tries to take it for using footage. Let's Plays are kind of a gray area right now. I don't really understand on that, but if you're doing a review, that's obviously fair use. Yeah. Because if reviewing isn't fair... Oh, I haven't found this yet either.
Oh, really? You said you had Captain Toad in Everworld.
I guess I didn't mean this one.
I love his theme song so much.
I know, it's just very interesting because internet, new media, it's all such a...
interesting gray area that we have not really explored legally before.
And it all goes back to other stuff, too, like, oh my god, internet companies are the biggest scammers in the... Can you imagine if we had it so it was like, water companies were like, we're gonna give you inferior water. If you want to go somewhere else, you can't, because we're the only one in the area. Internet is...
Well, that's why people want to make internet a public utility.
Isn't that what it's already classified as?
No, I don't think so.
I could have sworn that is what it's classified as. It's
I don't
just
know,
not
maybe in
held up.
certain areas. I don't think nationally it's considered a public entity.
I think internet is one of the few things that does need government mandations, like electricity and water and stuff like that, because...
Well, it is becoming impossible to live without internet at this point.
Yeah, it's not a luxury. It's a part of life. It's like, if you don't consider electricity a luxury, you shouldn't consider internet one.
Yeah.
Because it's just so hard. I mean, in some big cities, it's fine because you have some options. But in our area, we have one option, and it's one of the worst companies in the entire world. I hate it. And it's like, what are you going to do? Switch to... No, we can't. We literally cannot. I would... People say ComEd is the worst. I would kill to switch to ComEd. We don't even have that option. I don't even care how much money it costs. Or, like, what I have to do it. Just give me good, reliable service.
I don't know. For me, I've had great service.
You don't live in the... I guess you don't technically live in the same... Because you live in Hudson.
I live in the town of St. Joe.
Okay, well, see, I'm technically the township of Hudson, where if I lived in Hudson, I could have Comcast or, like, CenturyLink. But in the township of Hudson, you only get one option. And it sucks. It's Baldwin Telecom.
Travis, what if they want to become our sponsors?
No, I don't want them. If you look online, they have about 90 reviews, and they're all 1 star.
Yikes.
Because they'll just... I mean, they'll have a thing where it'll be like, oh, this week we don't have internet. Do we get money back from our bill? Do they tell us what's going on? No. Oh, I pay for 70 megabyte download and I get 1. Okay. You call them and they're like, oh, well, it must be on your side. It's like, okay, it's the same equipment I used in Chicago, and in Chicago I didn't have any trouble. Oh, he's got a little hair tuft. I didn't even notice that. It's fun.
Travis, maybe you're just used to the big city life.
I guess we're close enough to Minneapolis and St. Paul where it's not like we're in the country.
No. I'm messing with you. I'm joshing you.
I do wish this kind of had like banjo music or some sort of like thing. Why are you doing
I'm trying to bounce on him. That's why. I'm trying to have some fun, but it's not working.
No, you're losing all your hearts.
I know. That's why I said it's not working.
There you go. You gotta get it when it's like kind of close to him. You can go down, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I for some reason when I'm fighting this guy, I always find it hard to like figure out where I'm landing.
It's because you don't get rid of the good drop shadow on top of his head.
Yeah.
And that's sort of important to figuring out where you are spatially.
Yeah. We just got our next moons. We took down this kingdom. We got like 10 moons in 13 minutes.
Yay!
Broodals over the lake.
Yeah.
The Broodals are just not my favorite.
It's unfortunate timing too with the Rabbids game coming out.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you gotta commend it for trying something new and not just using the Koopalings, which they very well could have. I would rather them, even if it was the same exact fights, I would rather have something new.
True.
But it just doesn't really work. The designs aren't that memorable. The fights aren't that memorable. And they really don't leave any sort of lasting impression on you.
Mm-hmm.
Just because there's, you know... I'm trying to think of other Mario games that... Like, stuff like in 64, like King Babam.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, like Petey Piranha and Mario Sunshine. They're sort of more look like they fit in the Mario universe.
Yeah.
Not just being, like, deviations. It doesn't have to be a deviation of an enemy to work. I don't know. Mario bosses are hard.
Yeah. Well, I think the ones that don't really fit in the world are good. Like, I like the
hand guy. I like the dragon.
I liked the UFO. I liked the...
Yeah, that was fun.
Well, I actually like the squid boss, and he looks more like he belongs to the Mario.
Actually, no, the squid one was great. Because those ones are all great because they're unique because you have to fight them in the different forms.
Yeah.
And that's... See, this is dumb. Who cares? Spin throw? Yeah. Okay.
I also like the sound that the characters make when they talk.
Yeah.
I think it's cute.
I don't know if it's supposed to... Because it sometimes sounds like they're saying, like... Bowser.
Yep.
So I don't know if they're, like, speaking a weird form of Japanese or if it's literally just gibberish or if it's, like, sped up or slowed down. But it works.
It might be like in Legend of Zelda Wind Waker where the choo-choos in Wind Waker are just people
gargle.
talking.
Some of
sped up.
the stuff in Wind Waker is Japanese though, like when they're like.
Yeah, it's like two Japanese. That's like two old Japanese men fighting, and then they speed it up, and that's the
Yeah.
sound that they make.
It's probably something like that.
All right, we will go to Wooded
tackle the
Kingdom,
Wooded Kingdom,
when we
next time.
come back next time, and we'll see you then. Have a good Thanksgiving. Have a good
Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
assuming that this time's up with it.
Yeah, have a good Thanksgiving.
Okay, bye.